Now I would like to ask the members of the English-speaking discussion group 4, William, Lindsay, and the group members, all the group members, they come.
Okay, everybody stand up, wake up. Come on, you've all been sitting for a while. Get up, stretch, let's go, come on. Okay, you guys ready? Perfect. I've got it all lined up, I couldn't find it. I divided it all up already. Sorry. Let's go. Okay, sorry, sit down. Good. Okay. I just wanted to make sure everyone was awake. All right. So, Yassis, bonjour, good morning. Je m'appelle William et je viens de Canada. I am speaking on behalf of our English-speaking group number 4. The first question that we had was, what is the purpose of the Olympic movement? The Olympic movement began with a common dream of uniting the world through sport. It was a way to promote a culture of education and be used as a tool for peace and harmony amongst all citizens. Pierre de Coubertin could not have imagined back in the 19th century how his idea would grow and develop into what the Olympic movement is today. Sport is a common language among all people. It is similar to written music and the periodic table of the elements in that sense. Both of these do not require the services of a translator to be understood. Sport is no different. When the starter blows his whistle or the competitor's music begins, the barriers of language are broken and we unite in the pursuit of excellence. The goal of the Olympic movement is not the crowning of new gold medalists, but rather the development of each and every human being. It cultivates fair play, equality, friendship, solidarity, and respect. If these values are instilled in each and every young child, we will create a society of leaders who understand each other and work toward a common purpose. Sport is there to overcome our differences and to forge bonds of friendship in spite of them. The organizing body of the Olympic movement must be an autonomous organization that does not receive influence from national governments or governing bodies. It is the organization's responsibility to create a democratic system where everyone feels included and like they are given a voice. While this concept sounds easy enough to implement, it is currently the framework to which we strive for today. According to the great Olympian and fellow Canadian, Wayne Gretzky, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. It is the responsibility of the Olympic movement and the guardians of Olympism to make sure that we don't miss any of our shots. For our second question, we came up with, how can we use the values of Olympism to promote the rights of athletes? Within the concept of Olympism, the stakeholders of the Games have to keep in mind their rights and responsibilities when it comes to the athletes involved. They have an important role to make sure each participant feels the safety and friendship that the Olympic Games brings. In specifically looking at rights, these main areas continue to come up in our discussions.
So the first one is education. Athletes, coaches, medical mission staff, and fans alike require educational programs to keep them informed and updated on changes and developments occurring in the Olympic movement. The second, inclusion and respect. All persons must be included in the movement regardless of any differences. Feeling respect when it comes to themselves, their competitors, the rules, and any behaviors deemed immoral is an essential part of the fabric of Olympism.
The third one is organization. Encapsulated with organization, we need transparency and accountability when dealing with governing bodies. Athletes ought to know where the finances of these organizations are being spent. The other thing is legitimacy. Everyone involved in sport deserves the right to play a fair game with unbiased officials.
Multiculturalism. The difference among our nations will be celebrated through sport, from the greatest landmass down to the tiniest island country. We have a responsibility to combine our experience and grow as a community together. Sustainability and ecology. The protection of the environment and the health of the athletes are essential parts to be considered by nations bidding for games.
Athletic excellence. Regardless of whether or not you are competing in the sporting arena or working at your job, you must always strive to do your best. Participating and reaching your goals help to create a healthy connection of body, mind, and will. Involvement of sponsors. To protect the athletes, the involvement of sponsors is required to be taken into account. Sponsors should know the role they play and not overstep their boundaries to the detriment of everyone involved.
Life after retirement. Athletes need to be aware of the opportunities available to them in their post-athletic lives. These opportunities could be turning to coaching, officiating, or participating in IOC's athlete career programs. Sports for all. Sport belongs to every one of us. It's not the property of one nation or group. It should be ensured that it's accessible to the entire human race.
And finally, peace. The ultimate goal of sport is to create a peaceful society free from discrimination. It is the hope of the Olympic movement that all who participate under it will hold its values in the highest regard. A couple of examples that were brought up during our discussions. Can anyone name this athlete? Okay, who was the first one? Because I have prizes. I won't throw them out, but you can come and find me after. So this female track and field athlete was from South Africa. As we know, she was questioned about being a male, and we discussed whether or not her rights were violated, or the fair play for the other athletes was something that also came into play. I found a quote from IAAF President Lamine Diak. There was a lack of confidentiality at some point, and this led to some insensitive reactions. And this was said after a request for the gender test was made public 3 hours before the 800-meter final in 2009. While the results of her gender testing were never made public, she was allowed to compete again in 2011. Can anyone tell me who this person is? That's you. How about if I put up this picture? So this individual is Yana Talakova. The basis for gender testing is currently in question within my own country. And we had talked the other day about what is the definition of gender. In Canada, it has recently come into question. Yana was born as a male and underwent gender reassignment surgery at the age of 19. 4 years later, she decided to enter the Miss Canada International pageant. Okay, calm down. Initially, she was banned from competing, but after hiring famed women's rights lawyer Gloria Allred, the owner of the pageant, Donald Trump, intervened and she was allowed to participate, finishing in the top 12. The question now turns to whether or not she has the right to compete or if she has established a new unequal level of playing field. And just in closing, Olympism has brought us together today, and through its principles, it will unite us for generations to come. Thank you very much.
So thank you very much. I would like to thank all the members of the Group 4 for the presentation.